from Dallas, Texas, and today we're going to be doing a reboot recipe. And of course, I'm Erika Shanoff.
And I'm her mother, Lila. How are you? And welcome to Not Your Grandmom's Tea Party. Not Your Grandmother's Tea Party.
Here at Erika's Tea Room. We are super excited because we had a lovely high tea at a French bistro in Dallas, Texas. And we brought back a recipe for our favorite element of their high tea, which was a zucchini bread
sandwich.
So we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna do it as a zucchini bread cupcake. So it was a really thinly sliced piece of zucchini bread. They probably had made a loaf. They did cut it into a triangle. And then they put the two pieces together with just plain cream cheese. So we're gonna elevate this to a zucchini.
Elevate.
Theirs was good. Theirs was good. Ours could be up here. Down here, up here.
So anyhow, with that said, we're gonna
Your
make
chances of survival with me. Without me.
I think Erika's confused tonight. She tried to do a southern accent. That was really bad.
Hi, y'all.
Yo.
You know, they didn't have a southern accent where we were in Dallas.
No, none of them did. They all sound like they was from New York, you know? They was from New York. They say they're from Dallas, Texas. They're from New York. With that said, we're going to teach you how to make the zucchini bread, and we made them into muffins, and then I'm going to put I'm making a honey cream cheese to put on the top. So I have 2 nice medium-sized zucchinis, all ground for us, and I'm going to put all the dry ingredients together, all the wet ingredients together, and show you how to put this together.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Sounds easy. Let's do it.
Easy peasy. So I start with my flour. So that's all that's in here is my 2 cups of flour. I'm putting in baking powder. I always do that, Erika. This like slides out of my hand.
Not coordinated.
No, it's baking powder and baking soda.
Okay.
I'm also going to add a little cinnamon because
Cinnamon.
I
love cinnamon.
it really adds a lot to it. And I'm adding a little more cinnamon than it calls for, but I'm going to tell you the exact how I'm doing it, okay?
And when you look at a lot of recipes for zucchini bread, they call for like nutmeg and coriander. And personally, we don't care for those flavors. So just, add what you like, but cinnamon.
Yeah, they do. They added nutmeg in this, so instead I add extra cinnamon. I love cinnamon.
That would be
and
good.
Last but not least, a little pinch of salt. Because you know, guys, as I tell you, the salt brings out all the sweetness in the other spices. The salt just adds everything together. But that's it. Get all the air in. And last but not least,
My sugar.
sugar.
Put some sugar on it.
If I put some sugar on her, would she get sweet?
You can smell the cinnamon. It's quite strong and it's quite lovely.
Cinnamon. So now I'm going to take my wet bowl, and you're going to see that the last thing that's added is the zucchini.
Because we don't want to bruise the zucchini.
It's
already gone through a traumatic experience from
chopping
nipple, and now it's ground. So it's just put here to the side.
I love to add either a sour cream or cream cheese to my bread as well. So I'm putting my eggs in.
I got 3 eggs.
I got 3 eggs. Thank you. And then this calls for vegetable oil as my fat. You could probably use butter, melted butter to this, and do equivalent cups to butter. But again, it's great just to have oil in it. So before I add my cream cheese, actually I'll add my vanilla. And it calls for a little vanilla. Here, baby. So I'm going to whisk this together just to get the eggs broken up a little bit. And then I'm going to put in my cream cheese. So Erika, if you take the big spoon there and just get my whole 8-ounce cream cheese in here. And I use whipped. You can use the bar cream cheese and then let it melt a little on your counter. But again, I tell you, why use that when you could use a whipped cream cheese?
It's already smushy for you.
It's already smushy for you.
Smushy like a tushy.
Okay. Can you use a hand mixer? You can, absolutely. It's just my whisk works so well. I'm just going to whisk the eggs and get all, I'm just going to get it all done. And now if it comes in here, just take it on a place that there's no, and it'll come right out.
And don't go crazy, because if it was me, it'd be all over the counter.
If it was Erika, she'd be wearing it. right?
It's not fun unless you have some Anya.
So I put all my wet ingredients together. Now I'm going to add my dry ingredients. Now, the very last thing I'm going to fold in the zucchini. But look how easy. It's just like getting all your ingredients in, and it's really very, very good.
It is so good. The one that we had was a little denser, and I think the addition of that we added of the cream cheese really made it so light and fluffy
And soft and moist.
and delicious.
Yes, and that's why I didn't add the walnuts to this thing.
So if you like a little bit of a crunch in your cupcake, you can add the walnuts right in, or your favorite nut. Pecans or almonds would be just as great. So we're just going to get all the good stuff so we don't lose anything, and then we'll start adding in.
Then I'll add in my zucchini.
And we'll call it a day.
And we'll call it a day. We'll put these into the oven and see what it comes out. I understand I did that, Pee-Pee. I made a mess, you saw. Okay, now I'm going to add in my zucchini. And all I did was take my little
Baby
chopper,
food processor.
my baby processor or chopper, and put the 2 zucchinis in. I cut off the edges, and it's just a light chop.
And you don't need to peel them. So, I mean, if you
Oh.
choose to peel them, you absolutely can. But we did it with the peel on, and it adds a very, very nice flavor.
But the peel has all the vitamins in it too. So
Fiber, etc.
it looks so nice. It smells heavenly.
And they taste even better.
And they taste even better. So I have my oven preheating, and then I use some of my Bake It Clean that I've shown you before in 2 of the 12-cup muffin tins, and this is going to fill this up. So I'm going to put these in, and tomorrow I'm making a Southwest soup. It's going to be a play on a ham and bean soup. So I'm using kosher hot dogs in my bean soup, and we're going to serve these as a side.
Sounds good to me. But how long are we going to cook these for?
Till they're done.
Okay.
I set it for 20 minutes, and it was just perfect. But again, I always say it depends on your oven. I love recipes that tell you cook it for 10, 12 minutes. First, it depends on your climate. Second, it depends on your oven. Do you have a convection oven or a regular oven? You know, so I don't trust timing. I say it cooks for about 15 to 20 minutes, but when it's brown, it's done. Right?
And of course, then you stick your little toothpicky in, and it comes out nice and dry, so you know the centers are all cooked.
Yep, cooked out. I don't know, yesterday I made 24. I must have made these much bigger than the ones I made yesterday.
So if you want to get your full 24, just fill the cups up to like 3/4 of the way.
Or halfway.
Or halfway, because they will puff up
Yes,
too.
there is baking powder and baking
They puffed
soda.
up and they came over.
So hopefully these don't go all over my
And you
steak.
notice I sprayed the pans quite well. I was a little overzealous. So these will literally just fall out when we turn them over.
So let's get these side by side in the oven.
We'll be back in 2 seconds to show you our finished cupcakes and
taste them.
taste them.
Be right back. So these are the muffins out. Look how brown they are all around. They are still very, very moist to the touch. What I did is I put a little honey, took 1/4 cup of cream cheese, the same whipped cream cheese, and put just like 2 teaspoons of honey in it, mixed it thoroughly, put it into my little bag, and made a pretty little thing. And then I put 1 little walnut in the top.
What I felt the sandwich was missing was that texture difference. So the walnuts, if you put them in or if you add them into your cream cheese, are going to give you that little bit of a crunchiness to go along with all that.
Now I'm going to cut this open so you can see what it looks like inside. You see all the zucchini, it holds by itself, very airy. It is dry, it is moist to the taste, but it's dry. It's not like it's wet inside. Okay, and I'm sure
prepared.
Eric is going in for the kill. But look how pretty that is. I won't let her eat yet. She's going to, here's a knife and fork.
I'm withering away to nothingness. So look how beautiful that is. I got a little bit of the cream cheese and honey.
So what is it? It's good. I love the brownness of it. You could see how, look at the green. It's just so pretty to look at.
And it doesn't taste like a vegetable. This would be a great way to get kids to eat more vegetables because you're grinding it and making it into something that's sweet.
So with this, what kind of tea did you choose today?
This is probably my mother's top 3, one of her top 3 favorites. To go with the earthiness and the texture of the zucchini, we picked velvet tea. Velvet tea is a rooibos start, so it's a caffeine-free herbal from South Africa, but there's a little hint of chocolate and vanilla and mint.
You see the green in that? Those are little tiny mint leaves, and then you can see the chocolate bits. It's cocoa nibs in it.
You want full nut.
In full nut, little cocoa nibs, and then the red part of it is the rooibos, which comes from a South Africa bush. And then you see here, these are parts of the cocoa nibs. Look how beautiful. And it makes a beautiful red blend of tea. But it's very good for your stomach. It settles everything down, but it's a perk and a little good for headaches. I just had a cup before. It is phenomenal. This is my go-to tea when I need some pick-me-up.
And look how beautiful it brews, that golden brown reddish color. And remember, you can tell the difference in quality of tea when there's absolutely no haziness. You're not going to find any like clouds in your tea, which is what you get when you have
it was clouds in my coffee. Clouds in my coffee, clouds in... You're so... No, I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
Okay, Carly.
Carly Simon.
Okay. Probably think this song is about you.
Oh, I started her. I'm sorry. But yes, there's no cloudiness in her tea. So drink your tea and tell them.
If there's a cup of perfection, this tea is it. Because you taste the chocolate, you taste the vanilla, and then the hint of the mint comes through as an afterthought. It is the perfect cup of tea, and it's why it's one of our personal favorites and a go-to for us.
Absolutely. It's a smooth tea. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this week's program with...
I know. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my cupcake once we finish.
Zucchini. Yes.
As always, we wish you good scones with good tea and good friends. And always remember...
memories are made with every cup.
Please tune in next week for a new episode of It's Not Your Grandmother's Tea Party here at
Erika's Tea Room.
Have a great day.